At last, Bennett's apartment building. Shouldn't be too hard to find a fire escape to get up there. I'll go up to his penthouse, steal the recordings of my therapy sessions, and find out what happened on Mala Island once and for all. Okay, now! Darn it. I can't take the luxury of going into the street again, or someone might recognize me, so I better just do what I came here for. Bad news. There's no sign of a fire escape. I'll have to find some other way into the building. The end is here. Have a nice...
This here's Bennett's apartment building.
Come on, let's cut through here.
No, let's go another way. Or do you want to stay to chum around with the bums?
I'm shocked. I'm terribly saddened to hear this. The doctor he was a very close friend, so all we can do for him now, and especially for Brian, is watch this.
Patient, Brian Basco, session 25, October the 6th, 2008.
Good, Brian. Before continuing with your memories, would you like to go over what you've been explaining to me in your latest sessions?
Yes.
All right. Everything began during your vacation in Hawaii, correct?
Yes. Gina hired Otto, an old German pilot, to take us on a day trip to Mala Island. I think Otto had a heart attack. When we flew over a big lake, I threw Gina out the door with the only parachute on board. And then I tried to land the plane.
What happened when you attempted the crash landing on Mala Island?
Otto had vanished. I found a military camp by the lake. I asked the soldiers if they'd seen Gina, and I talked to their main officer, Colonel Kordsmeyer. He told me he hadn't seen her, but I could tell he was hiding something. So I decided to infiltrate the camp and search for her.
Tell me about how you infiltrated Kordsmeyer's camp.
I knew Kordsmeyer was waiting for a scientist to come visit. Thanks to O'Connor, a really dumb soldier, I was able to impersonate the scientist, but I couldn't find Gina. Still, I discovered clues that something weird was happening in the lake, and also that the only person who'd know what was going on was this guy named Professor Simon in Alaska.
Tell me about your trip to Alaska.
When I found Professor Simon's house somewhere in the middle of Alaska, he told me the unbelievable truth. At the bottom of the lake on Mala Island, there was a spacecraft from the planet Trantor. With the help of an alien accomplice, Kordsmeyer stole some energy stones from the Trantorians, and without them, these aliens would die for sure. He would only return them in exchange for a technologically advanced Trantorian weapon.
What was the relationship between Gina and the extraterrestrials?
When Gina fell into the lake, they rescued her and took her to their ship. She had gunshot wounds, probably inflicted at the orders of Kordsmeyer. They tried everything they could to heal her, but without the energy stones, Gina would soon die.
Did you get the extraterrestrials' energy stones back?
Getting the stones Kordsmeyer had stolen was impossible. But with some friends' help, I found another piece of Trentonite. It had been hidden for centuries in a pirate ship at the bottom of the Pacific. I got that stone and returned to Mala Island.
Okay, Brian. I guess this is about as far as we can go with our review of prior sessions. Let's delve into unknown territory at last. In the fantasies that your memory seems to recognize as reality, did you manage to deliver the energy stone to the Trantorians and save Gina's life?
It's all a bit confusing.
Just try, Brian. Did you get to the lake without being seen by the soldiers?
Yes, there was a turtle. I followed one of them in order to sneak onto the ship, but Kordsmeyer, Tarantula, and their troops were a few steps ahead of me. I took out one of the guards and put on his uniform, but then they saw me. To reach the heart of the spacecraft, I was going to have to do it the hard way. I made it to a sealed chamber. My sixth sense told me where I was supposed to place the Trentonite. And that's how I managed to get the Trentonite to Alpha, the leader of the Trantorian ship.
It's fascinating that your mind is able to believe all of these wild adventures, Brian. Let us continue. Did it take Alpha long to get his strength back?
Not long at all. In a matter of minutes, he went from being half dead to being completely healthy.
Were the Trantorians able to regain control of their ship?
Yeah, Alpha woke up the rest of the crew, and they attacked the soldiers and took Kordsmeyer prisoner, as well as Tarantula and the alien trader who'd stolen their energy stones.
And then what? Don't tell me the Trantorians themselves took Kordsmeyer to the authorities.
No, they used a mind control device, so I'd do it for them. By activating it, I could take control of Kordsmeyer's body while I just sat there, motionless. And by controlling the Colonel, I could make him confess his crimes to his second-in-command, Lieutenant Colonel Jerome D. Chapman, who would no doubt arrest him. I had to do this fast, because after 1 hour, the person using the mind control device loses his powers and the device disintegrates.
By the way, how was Gina during all this?
Luckily, she was fine, but she was still unconscious. Alpha told me she would still take a while to wake up, and that afterwards she wouldn't remember a thing.